service. Good morning, church family. Good morning. Worship, the intent of worship never changes. God is always worthy of our worship. We need to worship Him. Otherwise, if we're not worshiping our Creator, we're going to be worshiping some created thing. And that's going to be less than that which we're made to worship. So the intent of worship never changes. He's always worthy of it. We need it. We come to do that. But the how-tos of worship at times do change. And one of those how-tos that we just need to be aware of as a church family has to do with mask mandate. The governor this past week had issued a new mandate on masks, which would pertain to us since we are an indoor location that would not be our residence. And so we are asking through the services until a new mandate is manifest that during worship services, you wear your mask. If you're over the age of 10, so that might be an age revealing for some of us, over the age of 10, and if you don't have a different health risk or a health concern. So if you have a health risk or health concern, you don't need to wear a mask during that time. There are free masks in the back there too, if any would not have one on a Sunday morning that you're welcome to take and wear for worship. A few other announcements that will pertain to us. Wiggly Worship is going to get started next week, but before we holler too much in excitement, we're taking a baby step and starting. That'll be only for ages 2 through 5, and it'll be at this 10:30 service back in the Wesley room. So a step towards Wiggly Worship, but only for the age group 2 through 5-year-olds, and they will be meeting in the Wesley room in that capacity. And next week will also be our first week celebrating communion. And so we ask when you enter into church next Sunday that you would take a little communion packet. It should have the juice and the wafer all in one self-enclosed container. You can just take one of those, bring it into the worship service, and hold on to that until we celebrate communion together as a part of that service. So on your entrance next week, grab a communion packet, and we will celebrate communion together next week. Got another important announcement from Mel Miller on behalf of the facilities and the trustees committee that met this past Tuesday.
Good morning. Yes, the facilities committee met last Tuesday, and I thought I'd bring you an update on what we've done and where we're going. We are near the finish line of the first phase, which was the restroom project. You may have seen that as you came in. I left the door open to a restroom. You can look, but don't touch yet. We're not quite done with that, but that all should be done in the next week or 10 days. It's gone well. I think we're on budget and on schedule. Some of that thanks to some volunteer help, especially Joyce and Linda Netcher, who have done a lot of the painting in there. So that's great. We decided to go into the next phase, which is the West Edition, or what we might call the Youth Edition. You see a picture of it there. I think Lance is going to, we're going to do a little fly around here. That will start soon. As most of you know, that's going where the existing playground is now. So we need to create a new playground, which is going to be out in front of the church. You may see a bunch of stakes in the lawn. That's marking the outline of that. That will probably start the first week in August. We need about 2 weeks of that, and then we can move the stuff out of the old playground and start the new addition. During that time of moving stuff, it may be an opportunity for some more volunteerism, so we look forward to that. This youth edition is important. As I look here, I see a lot of youth here, just like we have in our service, that's going to become important to soon in the future. If you have any questions, I'll be around. Thank you for your support.
Mel looks around at the children of the church. Luann was crunching some numbers for Charge Conference this past week as we're preparing for that in the fall. She said we're on pace. Milo would be one of them. We're on pace this year in 2020 to have 6 babies born in the life of this church just this past year in that way. And so there's needs for that. I would tip the hat to the trustees and facilities committee this past Tuesday. I think they've looked at, all the meetings that we've taken part of in these 8 years, I don't think I've ever sat through a meeting quite like that one where an issue was analyzed from every single angle, whether it's financially, missionally or pandemically. There was frank discussion and talk back and forth as they were contemplating to move forward or to pause in that kind of way with that kind of a project, which I am grateful for.